May I get in, please?
Yes, please come in. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. How are you today?
I'm pretty well.
Great. This is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System, taking place on Saturday, 14th of January at Cambridgeshire. The center number is MM132133. The candidate is Suhada Noor and the candidate number is 000429112. The examiner is Shafiqul Islam and the examiner number is 433816. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name's Shafiqul Islam. Could you please tell me your full name?
My full name's Suhada Noor.
And what should I call you?
My friends and family call me by my first name Suhada, so you may address me by this name.
Alright, Suhada, could you please show me your identification?
Yes, here you go.
Thank you. Alright, thank you.
You are most welcome.
Alright, in the first part of the speaking test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. So let's talk about what do you do? Do you work or study?
Well, I do study. I'm a student of English literature in honors first year.
Great. Do you enjoy your subject?
Yes, I quite enjoy my subject as I have an intention from my very childhood to study in the subject.
Great. Now let's talk about swimming. Alright, can you swim?
Yes, I can. I learned at a school when I was about 7 years old. Swimming lessons were compulsory at our school, like most of the schools, I think.
Great. Are there many places to swim nearby you?
Well, there are quite a few public swimming pools. There is the main indoor one at a big sports complex in the center of town. There are also a couple of outdoor ones, but you can only use them in summer as it is too cold in winter. And one is a big one is in a park, but the other one is much smaller one.
Great. Do you think everyone should learn to swim?
Of course, I think it's very important. Firstly, you spend most of your life on vacation by water. For example, when you go to the beach with your friends, you won't be able to enjoy yourself if you can't swim. And another thing is, for the safety purposes, I think it's very important. You often hear sad accident involving young children, so I think it's highly crucial.
Great. Now let's move on to talk about art galleries. So are there many art galleries where you live?
No, not that of. I live in a small town, so I don't think there are any. Though we do have some few museums and other cultural institutions. In the capital city, there are quite a few art galleries, however.
Alright, so did you like to go to art galleries when you were a child?
Well, I have never been interested in art, to be honest, so not really. But we were taken to one as a part of a trip when I was at school, and it has a lot of paintings to see from the famous artists from my country, and it was quite interesting to see, I guess. But I have not to any sense.
Great. Should people have to pay to go to art galleries? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it depends, because if people do have pay for this kind of things, they are less likely to go and see it. On the other hand, these things cost money, so a simple pay may be necessary if it keep the art gallery going and keep it open. And I think ideally government should pay for this kind of thing, as I believe we pay for this kind of thing for by our kids.
Alright, are you good at managing time?
Well, I would say I'm not too good. I don't have any system in place to organize my things. I know some people do use some device or electronic organizer to manage what they are going to do, but I don't do that. But I always make sure that I'm on time for any appointments and things like that, and I always meet the deadline and get things done.
Great. As a student, how do you manage your time usually?
Well, I have mentioned that I don't have any system in place to organize my things. For example, when I'm at work and I have a lot of cases, I just go through them each day and decide which I need to tackle first. And I have an online diary which I guess I use, and in that sense I just manage my time to an extent.
Great. Now, in the second part of the speaking test, I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. All right. So you have 1 minute to plan what you are going to say, and you can make notes if you wish. Is it all right?
All right.
All right. So here's a piece of paper for you.
Thank you.
Right, and a pencil, and this is your topic. All right. So I'd like you to describe some technology, for example, apps, phone, software programs that you decided to stop using. All right. So you may start making notes. All right. You may start making notes. All right. Your time's up. Now you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, right? So, and don't worry if I stop you. All right, and I'll tell you when time's up. All right, could you please start now?
Well, it can be shocking to many that I stopped using smartphone, finally made shiny metallic thing about 5-inch tall and 3-inch wide, which I bought about at least 3 years ago within the due to some popular uprising within the rank of my immediate family member who claimed that I could never become a smart person if I didn't buy a smartphone. So after being fed up with their constant nagging, I decided to visit a smartphone shop from my hometown one day and offered them a bundle of my hard-earned money. And that thing was darn expensive, I can tell you that. And there was a pretty much of a story why I exactly decided to buy the smartphone. And on the second thought, it is not only because of the nagging and pushing that I decided to own this little technological Honda, but also it allowed me to watch some of my favorite videos from my childhood during my spare time and send and receive emails and browsing social media on the go. But after a few months ago, I noticed that technology fatigue struck me too much as I got bored of using it, and to even when I just could have gone out to enjoy some of the beautiful outdoors and hang out with my friends. And another thing is, I just got bored of protecting this technology because it was too fragile. If somehow I dropped it on the floor by accident, it would get broken. So at last I told myself that it was time of stop using technology, and that was the story of terminating my relationship with this technology. And when I just stopped this technology using, I just felt liberated from a bad influence of a magic spell that was continuously being released from that technology. And I also feel that now I'm able to save some of my money that I was continuously spending on internet by using this technology.
All right, thank you very much. Your time's up. Now, you've been telling me about some technology that you decided to stop using, right? So now, in the final 5 minutes of this test, I'd like to ask you some more general questions that are related to this. Is it all right?
All right.
Okay, great. Let's talk about computer games, right? What kind of computer games do people play in your country?
Well, computer games or video games landscape is changing so rapidly in my country, and it is very difficult to keep up with that trend. And the particular types of games, shooting and battle, I think mostly popular among the young children in my country. And by the way, it is worth mentioning here that mostly young people play the computer games in my country. And as far as I know, sports, strategy, and stimulation types of games are mostly played by young people in my country.
Great. So, why do people enjoy playing computer games, you think?
Well, computer games, or for that matter, any kind of games, are played by many because they bring a certain level of happiness and relaxation by eliminating the daily stress of life. And also, these games are really fun because they transport us to new realities, creativities, and power to overcome challenges, while also satisfying our daily needs for achievement and recognition at the same time. And this and computer game incorporate us to some fine study materials, storytelling, and also music, which all have some form of educational and entertainment value.
Great. Do you think that all computer games should have a minimum age for players?
Well, I don't think that computer games should have minimum age bar for the players. Of course, unless these players are underage, depending on what is considered to be underage. And not all types of computer games are violent, nor do they all contain some kinds of offensive thing that can be harmful to any age group. And I think putting an age restriction on computer games player can also prevent otherwise some fine and talented young men from learning something valuable. Can indeed be can from some learning something valuable can because some computer games are really can be very interesting and educational.
Great. Let's talk about technology in the classroom. All right.
Right.
So, in what ways can technology in the classroom be helpful, you think?
Well, technology in the classroom can be helpful in many ways. Firstly, it makes the life of students and teachers easier by cutting the needs to carry books, notebooks, and study materials because they can easily access them through a computer. And also, it also can help improve the classroom presentation and lessons with the help of some visuals and media. And also, technology learning can be made fun in the classroom sometimes because there are some educational apps that are not only easy to use but also practical. Learning something practically, that is in many respects.
Great. Do you agree that students are often better at using technology than their teachers?
Well, I don't necessarily agree with such a statement here unless using technology here means handling technology. Because I know that in recently students play with the technology more frequently with their teachers, but that doesn't make them better than their teachers. And when a teacher using a certain technology, he knows the best benefit from a technology and how does really it works. And I think it is not with just most of the case of with most of the students.
Great. Do you believe that computers will ever replace human teachers?
Well, I don't really even see computer ever replacing human teachers, and not even in the future, because being teacher is exclusively a human being, and a computer can be a good assist to teaching, but I don't think that they will never be able to replace the human teacher, because computer never will be able to figure out how much to teach a student and what to teach on their own. And computer can be taught anything only when a human, in this case a teacher, intervenes. Or in other thing that how possibly something can be a teacher if it itself can't function without being taught.
Great. Thank you, Shuhada. Thank you very much. That's the end of your speaking test.
You are most welcome.